Welcome to CWL Pro League. Again, moving our way through the second week of Cross Division. I'm your host, Katie Bedford, joined as always by Nameless, Pac-Man, and Study. Now, Nameless, right off the bat, we need to talk about 100 Thieves and Midnight. What were your big takeaways from that? I guess arguably an upset yesterday.
I mean, it definitely was an upset, right? I think that we all thought 100 Thieves was going to be able to walk away with that one. My biggest takeaway was Saints is back. He is in true form once again. I don't know if it was a one-off, but that guy played out of his mind. The first two maps he accumulated streaks, was dominating the game. They went up 90-1 on that first map, and it was pretty much Saints just dominating like the entire series. And you know, I was talking to Slash last night, and he was like, I don't know how he kept getting behind us. Like, my teammates must have just showed up not ready to play because Saints was just obliterating us. And you know, that's a testament to what this guy's able to do.
For me, the biggest takeaway from Midnight so far has been the level of play from Blastful. I feel like he's been an improved player that this is the best we've ever seen him play on LAN consistently. Hopefully he keeps it up throughout the rest of this week because I'm loving what I'm seeing out of him.
For me, it's definitely Llama God. You know, versus Splice, he had like a 0.9, but just overall, he was on the best team when it came to Hardpoint. So just yesterday, he put up a 1.16. It was a great performance out of him, along with this guy, absolute unit.
So I want to ask both Nameless and Study about Saints. You both teamed with him. Give us some insight to him as kind of a player and a teammate, Study.
Well, when I teamed with Nato, he is either the best teammate you can ever have, or he's just not just a teammate you don't even want.
You've ever had.
If he's not going to be putting in his work, then he's just definitely the player he's not supposed to be. He's not living up to his potential at that point, and you realize that. The guy has so much skill. I won my only championship with this guy destroying Nameless with a fast 3-0. Which was, overall,
we went on a Euro trip for 3 weeks. Come on, bro.
That's all good, man. Saints is that guy.
And then I won the next event. No, but he is that guy. When I team with him, he like Jay said, he's just capable of doing some crazy things, popping 2 to 3 pieces, taking over a game. But there's just something with his work ethic where, you know, sometimes he doesn't try hard enough, or he doesn't show up on time for scrims, or won't really get on to go do that extra work and, you know, get over that extra hump. So I think, you know, kind of falling out of the top level pro scene for a little bit might have given him that fire. And now that he got blessed on a Pro League team because he didn't make it through, you know, the initial Pro League qualifier, he might be putting in that extra work, and that's what we saw translate in that last match we saw.
Now, moving on, our last match of the day yesterday went to that game 4, but it did see Gen.G taking down Splice. And Pat, what did you think about that outcome?
For me, it was Gen.G's hardpoint, which seemed really strong. They beat Splice in both hardpoints. Both were close games, granted, but the fact that they've improved so much in that game mode to take both of them from a team like Splice is huge. We saw Donnie team kill, get a double team kill in that S&D. Might have switched the series up, but Gen.G is an extremely strong team, and they haven't slowed down at all from their last time in the league.
I just feel like when I watch Gen.G, they're pacing. Like, it's not like any other normal team. I just feel like they're so aggressive, and they're able to win those one-on-one close-range gunfights when you have Havoc and Envoy just leading the pack, just slaying in. And that's what's so good, because they're understanding the game. They're realizing what spaces they can push and where they're going to be spawning and things like that. And they're just so aggressive and just winning their gunfights, and they're doing it together. The team is beautiful.
Now, let's bring up our standings again. We've talked about it a few times. By the time Cross Division is done and these divisions are settled, we will know the seeding for London. I think I saw Clay tweeting something about it earlier about 100 T's loss, kind of potentially guaranteeing them a second seed. But it's all up in the air, Nameless.
We never actually know until league ops.
Yeah, you don't know until it's done.
For sure. I mean, it's pretty straightforward right now. The things I see that stand out to me are Reciprocity being as low as they are, being as good as they are, and Luminosity being somewhere in the middle. Those are probably going to end up being some pool of death scenarios just because of where they are right now in the standings.
Yeah. Now, again, look at our schedule. Coming up, we have E6 and Midnight to kick off the day. And Jay, I wondered how, based on E6's performance thus far, how are you feeling about them going into this matchup?
Well, if they can win on Hardpoint, they're 3-11 since the addition of Chino, and that's just unacceptable. Their control, they're like 6-1. It's the most dominant game mode. And in their S&D, it's up and down at that point. But just overall, you need to realize what mistakes you're making in Hardpoint. It might not be, you know, correct specialist usage or anything like that, but just overall, you guys got to figure it out, plain and simple.
To me, I think it's their pacing's a little off. I think I saw Diabolic tweet that their pacing seems a little off. They picked up another AR player, which made them solid in the other game modes, but then it's causing them to stutter a little bit in hardpoints. So once they figure that out, I think they're going to be a really solid team.
Yeah, they're a really good control team. I mean, watching them play control it's a wonder to watch, especially, you know, one versus Optic Gaming where they just played amazing. And, you know, having Chino as well as, you know, helped them be more coordinated, which is why I think their search has gotten better as well as their control. It's going to be Hardpoint, and Hardpoint is the easiest, you know, game mode to figure out. It's what you scrim nonstop. I have no doubt in my mind these guys will improve. Obviously, they're 0-4 right now. I have no doubt in my mind that they'll be able to start taking those Hardpoints and, you know, solidify themselves as top 8 team in the game. They did get top 6 at the last event, but not winning Hardpoints, it's not going to take you that far, you know. So
Right.
there's going to be a time where you have to learn it.
Now, Nameless, what about Midnight? Kind of that same question. Based on yesterday, they got that first win, their first win with their new roster over 100T. What are you expecting out of them today?
All right, so for this roster right now, my opinion on it is that they have a lot of upset potential, but I don't think they have a lot of consistency. Just some of the players on the team. Saints known to be kind of inconsistent in this game. Parasite as well, even throughout the series yesterday, he was very consistent. Like Game 4, abysmal. Game 5 played amazing. Blast known to be inconsistent as well, and then Lacefield had some blunders on the map. So it's really just a lot of these guys individually trying to find, you know, their identity on this team. If they can all become consistent as individuals, and then they can come together as a team. But I think they have a lot to work on. But I do believe they have a lot of upset potential just because of what these guys are capable of on their best day.
Study, how do you work on something like consistency? Is that just kind of, you know, sitting down and being willing to grind it out? Is that just a mindset thing?
No, it's definitely just putting in the work. It's just like going back, watching VODs, realizing, okay, if I push this corner here, the guy turns the corner in 2 seconds like before I do. It's just the little things that you need to be fixing, like when it comes to positioning, the way you're using your specialists, the way you're using your score streaks, and wherever the case, I mean, in Saints' case, when you're using War Machine, the way you're using your clusters. Just the little things that you need to just be fixing.
I think the best way to work on consistency is to like have like a rule on every hill. So every time there's a hill, any situation you get in, when you're scrimming, be like, we have this rule. Like, don't sway away from it because you think you have a better opportunity on the map. Like, this is our rule. Like, you hit water first, and I follow you up. Like, this is what we're gonna do every single time. And when we're practicing it, you're gonna do it every single time. Whether we're scrambling to get the win in a scrim, yada yada, we're doing what we practice, and that'll translate to the gameplay. After you get those reps in time and time again, when you get in the match, you'll be like, hey, we have a rule for this. If it doesn't work out, we did the rule.
To your point, in this game in particular, more so than any other Call of Duty in the past, your teamwork needs to be on point. So no matter what, even if you're shooting really well, if your teamwork's not on point, it just does not work out in this title because of the way it's set up, 5v5, and the healing. You have to be on point with your team. So what Anne's saying, it's true. Like, work on these things as a unit, fix it, and it can help a lot.
And we will have to see. We are ready, though, to start things off with Enigma6 and Midnight and our casters, Miles and Momo.
Thank you very, very much, Des. Miles and Momo here, bringing you Midnight versus E6. Two teams that have had their ups and downs this week, Phil, but looking to close out quite strong, I think. I mean, it's not over yet. Last night was insane, though.
Yeah, yesterday was definitely a wild ride, especially the amount of Game 5s that we did have. But two teams in front of us, again, with a lot to prove. We've had roster changes on both sides over the roster mania. But again, I feel like Midnight are kind of finally finding their feet. I think it was Blast yesterday who had that interview, and he was like, there's such a weight lifted off our shoulders. We needed that so badly. And I think across the board, that is something. I look at Midnight and I kind of see a momentum-based team. You know, they feed off that kind of victory, and I'm feeling confident for these guys going into this one. E6, though, again, they've had, you know, a tough week by all means, but Midnight, you know, they can take them the distance. They can take them down by all means. I think the addition of Chino, first of all, bit of a fan favorite. I love to see Chino back in the Pro League, having a big stretch in the afternoon.
Great stretch.
He's ready for the games. I love Chino as a guy. I think we touched on it yesterday. Just kind of a nice, genuine person. Finally finding himself in a great organization. But this is the map set that we have. We've got an Arsenal sandwich mixed in with a bit of Hacienda and Frequency. Any map and mode you're looking forward to in particular there, Miles?
Honestly, I'm a massive fan of Hacienda Search and Destroy. Have been since Black Ops 4 came out, and so far, so good. We've seen some incredible matches on Hacienda. But first and foremost, mates, Arsenal, Hardpoint. Midnight getting their first big win yesterday was very, very exciting for them. See if they can't continue their momentum today. E6, again, a bit of woes here and there. We've seen some fines, we've seen some not so fines, and now we go straight into our first hardpoint, E6. We're watching Midnight off the rip here. Shots are through. Lace is going to start the first set of kills, but again, it's an early contest. This is just the way it seems to go here on Arsenal. Again, that hard cover in the middle, that sort of helicopter crane. Not a whole lot of players can do except for try to get those window kills, try to get the kills from vents, try to find those angles, and so far Midnight have done just that, and they're winning the big gunfights on the outside of the map. Now Parasite's also going to get one. Now Blast holds down the inner, so far so good for Midnight.
Yeah, and I just want to, as this game kind of pans out, the first hill pans out, just kind of talk about Midnight a little bit and really highlight some of their players. Obviously, some of these guys have been Pro Leagues before, but also, you know, maybe for you new viewers out there who haven't seen them, the likes of Saints yesterday, incredible performance, a player which has been around for many, many years, and, you know, he's had his ups and downs, but for me, it's that kind of, that slaying side of him. When it's out, it is a very, very dangerous trait for the opposition to kind of handle. Parasite as well. he has been a bit hit and miss, but he's pretty consistent. Yesterday he had a hard point, I think it was like 2 and 19. After the game, the devs were kind of roasting him like, yo, Aggie, what were you doing over there? But it looks like he's pretty comfortable right now, currently sat 4-1. But across the board, very experienced players coming together here to try and prove a point. Midnight, 48 to the good.
Now, this is exactly the same scoreline we saw Midnight pull off against 100 Thieves to begin their last hardpoint on Arsenal win again. Now, the biggest turnaround point we saw there was that 100 Thieves managed to turn it around in the next hardpoint, so this one again did not go the way of that team, and E6 managed to get the final few points here, 30 seconds remaining. But Midnight had such an amazing start on the first 2 hardpoints, and it was only towards the third when they had around 126 points in the bag before they started to let the map slip. They kind of run out of gas, they sort of run out of steam. I wonder if E6 have got what it takes to turn the tides, or if anything, actually, if Midnight have got what it takes now to go through that consistency issue they have and drive on through and close these games out as fast as they possibly can. Time will tell as we go over towards Statue, towards the Jet, and then you see Llama God hitting the back now.
Yeah, and a nice rotation there coming in from Midnight. They actually broke it with about 20 seconds left, got 15 points, and Llama God rotated right to the back. So this could be a pinch, which, honestly, it could be a huge benefit for Midnight, but it also could come back to bite them, and they could completely spawn out. First kill goes to Midnight. Second to E6, though. Blast finding one from the vents here, and he's trying to find that second, but Chino shuts him down, and Kismet will be in and around the hill to pick up some more kills as well. Kismet, always that kind of feisty, electric-like player, who he's putting always kills on the board. Diabolic, though, 1 and 6, not the best of starts for him.
We've talked about Kismet in the past. He's been such a high-octane player. Like, he plays so quickly. He has so many more engagements than the rest of his team. And again, we talk about how sometimes that's a great thing. But at times, when you're falling out of sync with your team and you're pushing so far forward, you end up just getting hands from everyone else because you're so out of place. Nonetheless, Llama God in from behind finds 2 clean kills before being mopped up there. In Midnight, they haven't had quite the same, you know, high velocity start they had in the first time we saw them play this yesterday, but nonetheless, E6 fighting back in a big way over to the next rotation. We've been going, Frosty's trying to find the kills.
Yeah, I do want to touch on Midnight, though. The rotation round there, they battled out, but they got the gun here, obviously, in regards to the hard point, but they got to it way quicker. They kind of gave up 10 points, and I think that'll credit them in the long run. They are going to get contested, but they are getting the kills, and this is what I kind of expected. They set up very, very well. There was no specialists, no streaks that they're giving away, and it means it's so much more difficult for them, you know, to be broken. We talk about the specialist race a lot, and winning that right now is Llama God, 9 and 4. He's nearly at his Tempest as well. We're going to see those crash Tac 5 boosts come into play. Parasite halfway towards his vision pulse of currently 10 and 6. So far, so good for Midnight. They're breaking this 100-point mark. Yes, they're being contested, but every contest is getting shut down. And yes, that's because of the hill, but it's also because of the positioning. Those purple arrows on the top left of your screen here, they're working as a unit. And look at them now, all 4 of them going, you know what? We can give up that 10-second scrap time. We're rotating around. They do have the good spawns, but can they make the kills?
Yeah, got to make those kills, and that's one thing that I spoke to Llama God actually just before this match started. He ended up saying that if his team can get in that hard point first, if they can find those opening kills, they're all good. They're going to get a solid chunk of time. They're going to contest as much as they possibly can, and then they're going to hit the next rotation. However, if they don't get those first touches of the hard point, they really do struggle in the break. Now, breaking in again, absolutely crucial. Lace was trying to get it done there, but the slam comes through. Saints is the only player there to pick up anyone out of that one, and Diabolic's going to get both of them. So with that, E6 will hold on. The slam comes through for nothing. Lace does find himself streaks at 12 and 5. Parasite now on point, 30 seconds remaining. 130 and climbing now for Midnight. So far, so good. E6, no one really in the kills department. Not a single one of those players currently going positive. And you have to think, Phil, if they start picking up more kills on point, if they start picking up more kills on the rotate, things could be a hell of a lot better for them.
Yeah, you talk about the kills there and touching on Slaying side of things. The only person positive overall when it comes to Hardpoint is actually Frosty. That's at a 1.02, so just over a 1 there. But on the side of Midnight, you got Parasite at a 1.21 in the KD for Hardpoint. You know, Llama got over 1 as well. And even Saints and Blast, you know, they're right behind him at 0.9 something. So these guys definitely putting up the kills. I feel like they're a much more heavy slaying team when it's on point. But Midnight, again, we've not seen consistency from them. And again, we won't see that until we see them more and more, maybe after London even. But this cross-divisional play is helping them a lot. Miles here, 147 to 93. Lacefield, 13 and 7. Again, he's that kind of very momentum-based player who gets hype, gets in the face. But across, look at Parasite dropping those bombs as well as Llama. And it's great to see each player kind of having those moments. Yesterday, we saw Saints and Blast having some good games. This time, it's going to be the other 3. Lace, Parasite, and Llama here trying to shut it down.
Doing the best they can to just prolong this lead and keep it going. 20 seconds now on the next hard point. Getting ready for that rotate. Blast in position. Lace is here as well. General gets it done. It's going to clean up Blast now. Hellstorm's going to be coming from for Lacefield to just clean out that open field. Doesn't find anything, forces the players on the inside. Does get a single thing out of it. Blast finds a teammate in the back. Sally, we did see a hell of a lot of team kills coming through from Midnight. If you were there yesterday, you know exactly what we're talking about. It began with an O and it ended with a oh my god. Blast on Hardpoint now. 182 and climbing. 50 seconds on the clock here. A chance to get a wonderful amount of time as they did in the first set of rotations. Again, the kills department somewhat still slowly clawing back for E6, but they're still all going negative. They are taking the hits. Midnight still with the time, still with the lead.
Not looking good. Lamagod is going to find one, but that Tac 5. Sorry, Tac Mask, should I say. It's going to get him up from the Tempest. Kills coming in once again. Vision Pulse has just been popped. That's coming in from Parasite as well. War Machine combination is going to mean danger. Black Jacket coming through, which is fantastic for Enigma6, but it means absolutely nothing. The combination of a War Machine and a Vision Pulse, my goodness, that is a dangerous combo. And 217 plays 96 right now. A lot of people will be chalking this one up, and Blast finds the double. Midnight, they're looking so strong. And Miles, those streaks may have ended for Lacefield, but it looks like they've got a couple more.
We've got plenty of streaks still to work with. There are 4 to go now for Midnight, and we don't see a hell of a lot of comebacks here on Arsenal, and I have a funny feeling we won't be seeing one now. E6 are being put to the sword here.
Oh, that's a miss.
That was... Kismet finds Llama. He finds the wrong guy. That was insane. He managed to just duck under the doorway. Either way, all those streaks are coming out. It's an open field for E6. They're lining up. There's not a whole lot they can do at this point except wait for that bitter end, and the end is coming. The end is nigh, and it's coming through. Lamagod, he's going to help bring through the rapture now for E6 as the clock ticks. More streaks to be found. E6 really do have a clean sheet here on this hard point. They have not managed to get in there. Can anyone find anything? There is not a chance, not a hope in hell. Midnight, they take map 1 in an incredibly dominant fashion here over E6.
Yeah, they certainly do, and we talked obviously about Lamagod, obviously with the original Midnight roster. He was absolutely fantastic in the Pro League, and we didn't really see him do that well in the first week back with his new squad, but that's a performance you've got to be proud of. I think he ended 27-9, may have just got an extra couple of kills at the end there. Yes, some being lightning strikes and specialist score streaks, whatever. But tallying up there, the kills to death ratio from one team to another, we're talking nearly 40 plus on the side of Midnight. I think 17 of them being from, of course, Llama, but across the board, great performance there. And after maybe the third hill, it was just a domino effect. These guys just kind of let it get out of hand.
It really did get out of hand very, very quickly. Let's have a quick look at that last few moments of the hard point. And again, the scoreline is something else, but in terms of the kills department, again, no one in E6 even close to positive at this point. They're doing the best they could. But again, 4 sets of streaks to work with. I mean, Lacefield had streaks early on. We saw Saints doing damage. Everyone there on Midnight, absolutely positive. 20-9 for Parasite, finished off 22-8 for Lamagod, 17-13 for Saints, 15-11 plus for Lacefield. Again, it was just a pure spanking in its finest form. I mean, you can't really call it any other way. Here was the final hold here on towards the Jet, the statue hard point. You can see these kill streaks coming out, all those little red icons. Nowhere for anyone on E6 to go. They have to hit the hard point. They're spawning on the other side of the map. They have to run down that laneway, and all they get, the hail of ICR gunfire and nothing but lightning strikes, hellstorms back to back. Just when they thought they'd found a little bit of ground, no way. Midnight playing that one absolutely to a T. Magnificent stuff.
Incredible stuff. However, I believe before the game, Jess had a chat with Lacefield. Jess, what did he have to say?
Thanks, Momo. That's right. And while Momo, he has said some of the things that you were actually talking about, which is that being here across divisional play has been so great for Midnight. He said, I can tell that our respawns have really improved, as we, obviously just saw there on that first map. And he said it's just great practice being here. And of course, they're feeling great coming off of that win versus 100 Thieves. I think that really kind of shows in their gameplay. From E6, I caught up with Frosty, and, he said that the loss yesterday isn't really getting them down too much, because at the end of the day, they're still learning, and just like you were saying, Momo, they're getting some of the best practice in the world here at cross-divisional play. He also did admit, here versus Midnight, we're not really sure what to expect, so let's see how the rest of the series goes. Miles and Momo, back over to you guys.
Thank you very much, Jess. And it's always great to get an insight, obviously, in regards to the players, how they're feeling before the game, and we get to kind of hear that mid-series, whether it be just after one map or not. But it's funny, Frosty kind of saying we're just learning. He's come from, obviously, a different title. Just that experience showing through. And I think here, going into the Search and Destroy game mode, which maybe favors Enigma6 a little bit better than the Hardpoint. Coming into this, obviously, E6 the Pro League record for Search and Destroy for these guys, a little bit different, obviously map dependent, and we'll break it down, of course, for you. But Frosty, the addition to E6 alongside Chino now. You know, he's no longer the new kid on the block. But again, a very well-rounded squad. We do have Hacienda, Search and Destroy coming up. And in regards to Pro League, these teams have both played it 5 times. Midnight coming up 3 wins to 2 losses, of course, with a different roster. But Enigma6, 2 wins, 3 losses here. So I was talking about this maybe favouring them. Stats say otherwise. However, Hacienda S&D coming up next.
Yeah, again, it's that current form they're in. Midnight, a different roster, and E6 hit and miss right now, it feels like. Again, we saw some good stuff out of them earlier this week, picking up wins. We've got to close this one out here. Just the way that Midnight are playing, has to be said. You have to be favouring them going to that one. If that hardpoint was anything to go by in Search and Destroy, it's basically over.
Yeah, I do think Enigma6, they've always come up with some crazy strategy, or something different, should I say, whether it be the thermals, whether it be, you know, playing 2 out in the water. But Midnight, you know, this new group of boys are on that main stage, and they're getting it done here. The hardpoint looked good for me. Saint still kind of is that X factor, the one that can change a game very, very quickly, and this is going to be a hard-hitting A. It's all going down. First bloods are always important. We'll, of course, try and keep track of those, and that's going to be a double hit there coming in from Midnight, and I like it. Diabolic to say no. Lacefield falls, and Kismet saves the day. 3 alive now for Midnight. Llama being one of them, and Blast being another, leveling up 3-3.
Great opening kills from E6 though. I mean, straight in. We thought General was maybe a little too overextended, but he did have the backup there, a Diabolic and Kismet, and now Kismet does drop. Makes it a 3v3 with 1 minute left on the clock, but you have to hand it to the likes of the players on E6. They open this one up aggressively. They force Midnight to react very, very quickly. I wonder what the next E6 play will be, and again, they're now the ones on offense. One player's making their way towards B. Chino's going to get Parasite, and that gives him the numbers for now. Chino can't make it a second, but Frosty's there to trade out immediately, and with that 2v1 now, Blast, last player left alive, has to back down. 30 seconds left on the clock, plenty of time for E6 to plant the bomb and make a play happen now.
Blast not the best position. I think he's kind of stuck with A, hoping to go for the plant there. Fortunately for Enigma6, that's not the case. Blast down to about 3 HP there, down by the fountain. Frosty has him pinned, and he'll be calling for the backup. General up top. And General, wow, okay. General got decimated for a second, but it doesn't matter as Frosty will find the kill. And E6 do come out on top for round number 1. Bit of a confidence boost, of course, going forward here.
Definitely need a couple more of those before they can certainly call that confidence back. They got their hands in the hard point.
Yeah, they certainly did.
That was brutal. Either way, second round we go. Midnight now attacking. So they're making their way towards A. Will it be a similar start to what we saw from E6? E6 opting to send 2 players right through the center of the house. Will be upstairs. There's the trades are out. Llama God opens it up. Saints actually does an amazing job to take care of Kismet there. It looked like he had the disadvantage. It looked like Kismet had got eyes on him first. Nonetheless, Frosty out in a tough spot. Can't get it done. General's going to be trading them out. But again, the blood has been spilled. E6 have got the numbers dropping. It's 4v2 right now. Chino's the last player left alive. Shots are through. Can't get it done. The wood does not protect him. That's a very comfortable round there for Midnight to tie it up on offense.
Yeah, and Llama God, again, continuing his form from Hardpoint. By the way, just got the intel. He went 32-9 for his EKIA. Ooh. And the Hardpoint. He's already 4-1, and he's got the best play in round number 2. So today is looking good here for Llama God. As he closes things out, ties things up here for the Search and Destroy. And again, we casted one game yesterday. It was the Splice Gen G match, and it was one of those where social media was torn. You know, which way do you go? And I feel like this is the same. I feel like a lot of kind of favored E6. For me, I kind of lean towards Midnight. And this one might pay off for me as it stands right now. But E6 certainly have what it takes to shut a series down and shut my prediction up. But, oh my God, he's respecting my prediction right now. And he's trying to go all out. Interestingly enough, ICR with the dual zoom. Isn't going to even get to aim down sights there. Diabolic takes out Parasite.
Parasite done. Blast is going to make his way in there to try and fill the gap that Parasite left as he got dropped there. Frosty now. Eyes on the water. It's not just a fish in there, Frosty. Blast is there. HP slowly decreasing because he's drowning, but again, he's got tons of hot health to work with. He can make his way right through the back. Frosty's not seen it. Blast him from behind. Another player drops in the front. Saints goes down. Another one goes down. Frosty bites the dust. Here we go. Blast now. In from behind. 25 seconds left. 3v3. It's all going down the top of the house now. Lamagod goes. There it is. Blast is the last player. So he makes the long flank, but now he's all on his lonesome. 17 seconds. He's got to make something happen here on the site. Clock's ticking. It looks like this is over.
And then just jiggle peeking the doorway, making sure it's not diffusing. Easy round for E6 then when the 3v3 became a 3v1. Played the numbers. Always important. You know, if you're in a 3v1, just stick with your teammates. And even if you do go down, the trade should come in.
They're really sticking to that game plan. Midnight, we're like, hit the water. This is what we're doing this round. No matter what.
Yeah, it worked out eventually for Blast, but Parasite, it didn't work out too good for. Not really seen too much of Parasite in the Search and Destroy 1 and 2 as it stands after 3 rounds. But round number 4, they were very, very dominant here on the offense towards A. Let's see if they can replicate that one.
They had an amazing day of play yesterday against Splice, but apart from that one hard point, of course. Of course, friends. Stuns are up, bombs down at A. Kismet's in. Looks both the way across the street, but he does get absolutely flattened there by Lamagod. 5 and 2 for him. General's in a real tough spot. Frosty getting the ICR out there at that close range and making it work. Gunfight's still going down. Lamagod in a great position. He just overshot Frosty entirely. But you know what? Blast had it. Blast had him covered. What a round there, Midnight again.
Yeah, again, Midnight on the offense there, just dominating over at A. And again, it's kind of the old saying is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And, you know, do they just keep going A? Do they just keep taking control? Because it is certainly working for them. Frosty did find a double, but
we saw that
more.
We saw that second player slide out, and he just
like, where is he?
He had to ignore it because there were 3 guys there hitting him from their doorway. So another round to the good for Midnight. They did win the first hard point very convincingly. If you have just joined us, 2-2 now as we go into the 5th round. 5 and 2 for Blast, 5 and 2 for Lamagod, and here we go, Blast with that snipe. We saw him do big things yesterday. There aren't enough members here of E6 to really make this one work. He's got the A site covered, and over towards B, that's where the play is hitting in general. He's got his flippers on, and he's going for a little bit of a dip.
Swimming around. Thermal, he's going to connect. General finds one. Something Parasite couldn't do on the flip side of things. Saints to shut one down now, a 4v4. We've seen all the offensive rounds, I believe, come out on top. I could be wrong in that sense, but pretty confident in that one. 45 seconds left on the clock. A quick stim shot will find General still alive, still kicking.
Makes me think. It does make me think, what the hell is in those stem shots, man? If you can be underwater or out of air, that stem shot is full of goodies. Either way, interesting to see how the play would have developed now that he managed to find their kills there in the water. Lamagod, with the help from Saints, gets the kill there. Trades down bottom from Chino. 2v3 right now. 3v1. Lamagod goes down. It's all on a Chino in the 1v2. Tags into Saints. 20 seconds on the clock. He can make a play towards the bomb site quickly, but look at Lacefield. He's made his way towards the back. Is anyone going to let this go? Chino's not got a whole lot of time to work with. It's got to go down. It's got to go down quite quickly, but Saints is reading the time. He's reading the clock. Here it comes. He can get the timing on this one. There it is. Perfect timing with the defuse. Saints, like a Swiss watch. I think that's good. The Swiss make the best watches.
Do they?
Right? I don't know. Somebody Google that.
I'm going to agree with you, Miles. You're kind of intelligent on that side of things. You seem to know what you're talking about. So just like a Swiss watch. Swiss watch. Oh, my goodness. Midnight, though, again, and credit to Saints for that one. Again, he's just kind of adapted, realized that he hasn't rotated to it. A, just gone straight back to the bomb site and gone, you know what? I think he's planning the bomb. He gets the kill, gets the defuse as well, and he's rewarded with those extra points. So credit to Midnight for that. And again, we kind of talked about the S&D. The question is this kind of a must-win map for E6? You know, do they have to win this? Because, again, going into the control, 2-0 down, they're not having the best of weeks. Midnight, they're on a bit of a roll here. They're finding their feet in the Pro League.
Certainly on a roll.
Swiss roll.
Oh!
For anyone who doesn't know, back home, Miles is a little bit under the weather.
Can't stop sneezing.
Can't stop. I think there's 17 sneezes gone down during the cast, and he's managed to mute them all, but I will.
One of them's coming through.
One of them's just making it out. It's going to let it roar.
Midnight do have the advantage for the time, Phil. Again, Specialist, the only player who's even close is going to be, it wasn't actually Chino, it's Diabolic doing fine so far for the side of E6, but Saints is pretty close to his War Machine. Llamagod's real close to that Tempest. They're coming out possibly this round, if not the next. And this is where you start to see Midnight pull away with this. If there's a chance for them to pull away with it, it's here. No one from E6 now with the man down. They're going to be making their way towards that B. Diabolic's on his own. He could get just overwhelmed here so quickly. That position on the stairs is going to let him get away straight into the corridor, maybe to the office, but uh-oh. Now he's down on the ground. He has to help his teammates. His teammates have got to back him up in this situation. The bomb's down, no kills, just a ton of shots out. Someone's going to find the advantage here, and Parasite's going to get it done with his frag. Oh, cooked it.
Cooked it a little too long there. Didn't have time to actually wield his weapon. 3v2, 3v1. Lacefield coming up with the goods, and once more it's going to be General. All alone, and I tell you what, Midnight understand that bomb site a little better than E6 here. Unfortunate not to connect with the frag, but now lead in the map 4-2. Lacefield does find a nice double at the very end, and finds Frosty on the first. Expects the push, and it is going to be Diabolic. You know how we talked about, obviously, the Slaying side of things and the Hardpoint, and obviously Midnight going off, and, you know, everyone going positive, and everyone going negative for E6. It's just kind of the same, and it's very easy to point that out in Search and Destroy when, you know, you're in the lead by any means, but that's kind of a full row advantage. Usually when you're 4-2 up, there's, you know, one player, which would be Frosty at this given time, to at least put some numbers on, but across the board, picking up those kills seems a little difficult, and that Specialist race has been won by Midnight. Of course, Saints now able to pop that War Machine if he wishes. Lacefield close to the slam. Number 5, General, out and about in the water again.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It ain't broke. Lamagod finds 1, 2.
Nice.
Goes dead. Oh, just. He's not done yet. He's still fighting it.
Connected.
Frosty gets chained a 3rd time. Lamagod. Now it's a 1v1. Blast versus General. General still out and about in the water.
Anyone who's playing E6 and Hacienda S&D, you need to find General. Just cast your eyes out to the water. He's probably over there, but General is back on land.
More like an admiral than a general.
So cheesy.
Thank you.
25 seconds left on the clock. Tempesto available. Can he give Midnight a taste of their own medicine with this one? Does he need it? He's got the bomb. And it looks like he's looking to hit a late rotation, which may cast... Oh, my goodness.
Oh, blast.
Bad timing, buddy. Bad timing.
Here it is. Wow, that was nice. You heard that.
That was always my go-to shout when I was playing. Nice.
I like nice because if the other team hears nice and they don't quite know what's happened, it sounds like their teammate just got schwacked. You're like, whoa, my boy's getting...
Let's rewatch this, though, for a second. Connects with that and finishes a kill. Does connect with Kismet, and then someone, I think Frosty, comes in to try and save the day. Finds a second connection. Oh! And it just chains him. Kismet, that very final shot there, he was getting up at the time, so it doesn't end him.
Kismet,
what a wild Tempest.
He spent half the round on his knees. He spent half the round just getting shocked.
Guys, I'm down. I'm up. I'm up. I'm down. I'm up. I'm down.
Me. Help me. Here we go, Midnight map point.
Wow, my goodness. Up and down, and Miles is sneezing once again. 5-2 right now. Attack 5 boost is available. Again, the special is always so important. Parasite down in the water, but it's a hard-hidden B push here for the boys of Midnight. They've been so good over A. Saints is actually just going to be sat watching the flank, and apart from that, it looks like the B bomb site will be gifted. However, first blood goes to E6, and that's going to be Chino up top.
You know, can they make something of this, though, with the kill? I mean, attack 5 helps, but didn't slow Chino down at all. There's a slight bit of a reshuffle with the numbers towards that B site are great now for E6. His Blast trying to make something of it does indeed as he gets Frosty, finds that tiny little window. Saints as well now. They're hitting the corridors. Llamagod's there, and all of a sudden the advantage is gone. E6 now have to make something happen. Chino's going to try and get it done with the War Machine. A desperation play. Whoa, 3! He finds 3 with a single shot, and the specialists are going to save the day for E6. What an investment to stay alive. Will that pay off in a few rounds' time?
Okay, I mean, an interesting round, to say the least. A lot invested, and wisely invested, of course, by E6. Chino. And, was it the Tempest came out? Yeah, so the War Machine and the Tempest come out, shut down the attack 5, 3 specialists used 2-to-1 in ratio. But E6 coming out on top is big.
The Tempest is the only one that seems like overkill. You know, that didn't need to come out. I mean, maybe that's a miscommunication from E6 at this point, but nonetheless. General comes out, finds one in the back end. Chino pushes himself into the positive numbers with that one War Machine round. And here we go. Round number 9. Chance now for E6 to turn this one around, but again, they've got to make something special happen. Down a specialist. Diabolic not far from the TAC 5. Frosty also towards that Vision Pulse. But Lacefield, he has that Grav Slam to work with. Gunfights are going to go the way of E6 for the time being. Diabolic on the up top. Kismet the only player towards A. We're going to see that bomb make its way through the top end of the corridors. Uh-oh, Kismet eats a frag.
Nice
No
flight.
problem.
Had the flight jacket, so he's okay. Lacefield looking for one. There is a player just sat to trade there, but he's now pushing up and he's going to get caught out. That'd be Parasite. Lacefield will answer back with one. Saints, Kismet and General all get into the mix, and it's all up to Llama in a 3v1. And again, if you're E6, you play your numbers here, you stick together. And it's just kind of the Wolfpack game style, if you like, just sticking it down, and that's going to give him some extra points. Llama's going to find himself out of the map. Say hello to Nemo on his way.
Found him.
Got him. 5 to 4 though.
See ya. See ya.
Big fan of the gestures in Black Ops 4.
Me too.
In particular, Talks. Talks my favourite.
Aye.
Hey, hello.
If the trades don't go the way here, I mean, honestly, Kismet's timing was perfect actually hitting the back there. Talk about his aggression, but that wrap was ideal. If the timing's not on there, you don't win the trades on the top plat, and then all of a sudden you've got Midnight in a fighting position to actually contest, and here we go. Round 10, TAC 5's in, all towards A, and the read is good. Done their homework, Lace is in, Slam time, Slam City finds one, it's only going to be Diabolic, but one's good enough. Kismet trades out immediately. Lacefield, though, he's going to be gone down for Frosty. Now it's a 4v3. Llama God, can he make something happen here? He's in behind. Can he find it? Here they come. Lining them up. 1, nothing. Quick trades. Now 3v2. If he played that any differently, that could have been devastating, but we may be looking around 11 now.
Yeah, felt like he could have picked up the kills from the stairs, but again, very easy for us to say, obviously, when we can see the positioning of the players. 2 to 3. This will be the 3rd round lost in a row for E6. Of course, Midnight had that very, very strong lead. Blast and Parasite, though, looking to close things out in a 2v3. How are they going to go about this one? Kismet has been spotted, as is Blast. Oh, Blast is going to be taken out. No! Quick rotate. A very quick rotate by Parasite. This is going to be a quick bomb plant. It's going to change the game. By all means, Blast just needs to stay alive. He needs to at least take one down with him. He's got a concussion. And Parasite has a frag alive and kicking, still away. 40 seconds. And with a frag in his hand, can it be the difference maker? Concussion goes out. Oh, yes!
No way. Parasite, you've got to kill all 3 of them. Round 11, here we go. And what do we see? Kismet with the slam. Lacefield used his to try to close out the map, and now it's going to be the specialists. The specialists that potentially save the day now for E6. Whew. Early investments. I had questions about the Tempest use from General, but God, would be useful now, wouldn't it?
Oh, for sure. But 3 rounds back to back, all the momentum is in the hands of E6 now, and this is where they can put a big fat brick wall in front of Midnight and saying, we're going into control, all tied up though. Specialist check is Kismet. Frosty is close. Frosty finds a kill, 1 kill being the first blood potentially, and this game could be absolutely over, but Blast takes down General.
Wow.
First blood to Midnight.
Shot.
Second blood, Blast has found another. Answered back, Kismet has to invest. He has to. Saints goes down, and now it's a 3v2. The numbers favor Midnight. Frosty's nowhere near. Frosty, he's going to be the last alive. He needs to find something. If we jump on board with Frosty very, very quickly, 1 kill, potential vision pulse. But again, this is where you stick together. You do not feed into Enigma6. There's the first, and he doesn't get the vision pulse off of it, but he gets away with his life.
He's got both weapons to deal with this situation, though. Nice CR automatics. Now he's got the time against him. Big tags. And again, the potential to make this one work. Blast has been a hero for Midnight this round. He's going to finish this match off 11 to 7. 3 back-to-back. 30 seconds now on the clock. Gotta go, Frosty. Have to make something happen. The bomb is down. He needs to retake the site, get the bomb back, and you know that Midnight know that. Wait, they've left. They've left. 15 seconds. Anyone watching it? If he slides it, he could possibly make it happen. Frosty needs to check every time. He needs to check every corner. Now he's got to go. He's got to get it down. Here comes the play from Parasite. They've done the damage. Frosty can't get it done. Midnight. Don't let it happen. Round 11, it goes all the way. Some powerful specialist plays from E6. Crucial moments, though, go the way of Midnight. And that's just good search and destroy. They're going to close that one up, and that's going to be 2-0 in the series. Up next, though, Control.
Yeah, Frosty just gets his vision pulse at the very end. And again, if he maybe stayed alive for a couple more seconds in previous rounds, he might have been able to clutch up. However, Midnight do lead 2-0. Take the Hardpoint, and they will take the search and destroy in a very, very close round 11. Hardpoint was a little one-sided. Specialist galore as we see Saints and the boys go off. Guys, join us after the break for Control.
The Call of Duty World League is presented by PlayStation 4, the official platform of the CWL. Astro Gaming, the official headset and mix-amp of the CWL. And Republic of Gamers, the official monitor of the CWL.
Game Fuel. Level up the game.
Ladies and germs, welcome back to the CWL. Midnight up 2-0. Over E6 here in our first match of the day. Enigma6, what a rough run they had in that hardpoint. Search and destroy, bringing back that sweet old round 11. But man alive, Midnight just eating them today. They had a good sleep, clearly. So far, so good if you're a Midnight fan. After that big win yesterday against Splice, now they seem to have found a bit of confidence. A little bit of magic coming out from the players of Midnight. Can they keep it up, though? That is the true question. Of course, Control coming up next, Momo.
Yeah, Midnight, again, I feel like the Search and Destroy was kind of going in the same way, in the sense that they were, you know, about to go up 6-2, 6-3 and take the map much like map number 1. However, E6 put up a fight, push it to around 11. Still not good enough, but Arsenal could be our last map of the series. Well, of course, it still could be if it went all 5 just like yesterday, but Enigma6, they're looking for that reverse sweep. Arsenal Control coming up next, and again, these teams going head-to-head. We have obviously a lot less stats in regards to E6 because of the new roster, and yes, Chino kind of coming in does skew them a little bit, but always interesting to kind of look at these stats and, you know, see where they go from here. Overall, on a Pro League base, Enigma6 controls 8 and 3, Midnight's was 4 and 7, so has Midnight's changed a lot? Yes, you know, by all means. You know, it's a whole new team. So let's see what they've got as we get into Control on Arsenal.
Back into Arsenal we go. Straight over towards the A site we go. But it looks like 3 members of Midnight will be attacking B. Now, Frosty's shots are going to try to make them rethink that one. But, man, Parasite hot on the hands there as he goes in. Big tags. Diabolic comes in to provide the reinforcements. Lacefield finds one. Lamagod continuing the great run he's had in this series so far. He's played exceptionally well. Kismet finding 2. It's going to stop the push for the time being. However, the cap towards A is underway.
There's one. It's going to be the first tick, 27 to 27. A couple of lives go down. Notoriously, you will see, and if you're new to Control, a lot of teams kind of pushing inside, getting A because of the choke points. That being the doors, the vents, and the window. And obviously, it's a very small gap to kind of push through. It's hard, so you need to gain control early. And what will happen now is you see all those kind of white arrows say, you know what, you can have it. We're going to set up. We're not going to feed you streaks. We're not going to feed you kills. And I think that's a wise move coming in from E6. A slip and a slide for Lamagod is not enough to get away from Kismet. But now, with the addition of capturing that zone, they are going to get an extra 60 seconds now.
What do they do with that time, though? Here we go. 23 to 21. Midnight, slight advantage. Frosty making it difficult for Blast on the outside of the map. Number 1, though, all the way around the back. All that long, long way. Chino can't get it done. Saints catches him napping. Frosty still holding the doorway. Allows Diabolic to get in there and get the damage done. And wow, that play was years in the making.
Yeah, long time. The problem is now 4 of Midnight are pushed up. Blast getting a kill here really does change things because this is like a huge, wide pinch here, literally from 2 ends of the map. Picking up kills obviously crucial, and they're both going to go in the way of Midnight, 18 to 16, but Frosty and Diabolical, some of the plays we've seen maybe, but absolutely not. Not today. Midnight right now, 2-0 up, and 2 lives up as well, but a very strong hold here, and you might start to see the momentum change over to E6 with that defensive round. Oh, Blast not able to save his teammate from taking damage, but is able to save him from dying.
Yeah, with Diabolic and Frosty finding 2 kills there on the point as we continue to play. Diabolic once again up top, gets Parasite, nice the use of the stun grenade there, and Kismet once again holding that side door. Chino getting the work done from top of the plat there. General now holding the furthest point forward. Now number 8, that's going to be Chino. He's been watching the back end, now also watching the flank. Saints, sneaky plays from the vents. He's been nothing but sneaky, nothing but fantastic since yesterday. Currently sitting at 4 and 2. Trying to keep these kills coming. 23 seconds now on the clock. We need to see something out of Midnight. They're going to make their way forward. It's been a great hold from E6 in terms of time and the kills. But is it good enough now for Midnight to make something happen? Once again, the back is open. Once again, Lace is through. He manages to do what Saints did a moment ago. 10 seconds on the clock. Here's going to be the contest. The timing's on. Blast is going to find the kill on the player there by Lobby. General, got to make something happen here.
Needs to stay alive. Needs to stay alive. You'd like to think that he maybe leaves General for his teammate there and turns around and watches the stairs, but I don't think it makes a difference. With 0.5 seconds on the clock, not able to reach it. Great hold there, and shout out to General on the right-hand side of your screen. Now closest to you there. Big double kill from him at the end just to kind of save his team for a second, because what was important, and is it the play of the game? I think it might be. So he finds the first here, and I think it's Lacefield who is shooting him in the back, and he has to turn around and make these kills, but it's more important that Lacefield kind of stay alive and just keep the contest, because that time is obviously really, really important just to kind of keep going. And I understand if Lacefield was to win that gunfight, his whole team could push up. So I do understand the play from Lace. Unfortunately, goes in the way of E6 for Midnight, but here we are, round number 2.
Absolute heroics from General there. Getting it done. Round number 2. General did a lot of work there, halfway towards his 10 for 6 and 3. We're staying on board with the attack, straight towards Lab, straight towards A. Kismet's in, well aggressive. Parasite Lace will find 2. Lightning Strike now for General, big work. Again, paying off. 8 kills, 9 kills, back to back. Lamagard's going to cut that one short, but nonetheless, the damage has been done. He's got himself full streaks now on an offensive round. Lacefield overextending, trying to find something out of this one. Shots are through, catches Chino. The nade went out as well, so Chino burns that, sadly. Oh, still holding the line. That's going to be Lamagard now, making his way forward. Parasite. The kills are strongly going the way of Midnight. You see this forward line as they push these players back, hoping to catch them on spawn, hoping to deal the damage.
Yeah, they're in a very good position, Midnight. 44 seconds. That's maybe like 2, maybe 3 more waves of kills. Kismet goes down to the barrel. The barrel bomb, should we say, as he explodes right in his face. Llama picks up another kill. I think for the last 7 kills now, it's all been Midnight, 25 to 17, as they are making this look a little easy. One player on the flank, though, is going to be Frosty. And it looks like he's turned around just to regroup with his squad, but there's got to be a push here. They have to go for something.
Clock's ticking.
Are they just chalking it up? Are they just giving it up here and just saying, you know what, this ain't our round? It looks like that way. I've not seen this, though.
This is really interesting, because right now what they're doing, with 16 lives remaining in the game, they know full well that Midnight could be pushing this one, but they're not feeding that economy. They're not feeding the specialist economy that Midnight are already growing. So the next round, it's relatively even Stevens in terms of who's got what. We're not going to be able to see that major turnaround moment where, you know, one of the squads has got an incredibly, high specialist advantage after a dominant round, because that was a dominant round. And E6 have managed to concede there. They managed to not let that get out of hand. It will not bite them in the next round. I mean, of course, we still have Midnight with a slight advantage in terms of who's going to get the specialist faster, but I respect the play. I mean, I'm sure there's a downside to that. They don't get anything out of their side of specialists or all their streaks, but they still have the Hellstorm, they still have the Lightning the General has to work with.
They certainly do. A lot of streaks to play with here, and it'll be interesting to see when they come in. 9 to 6 for General. Of course, not feeding. You know, if they did feed, maybe we'd see 2 or 3 players for Midnight actually on that specialist hunt. But pushing forward, Chino's going to dispatch up 2. Lacefield answers back with a double himself, but it's General and Diabolic who come out on top here in the middle. And Saints is just looking to stay alive. Sit in a corner, wait for his squad. It looks like they're going for an A here, and that's going to be 4 maybe pushing through the window. Wouldn't surprise me if a long flank came in here.
Could do, General. We talked about him enough before. 10 and 6. Watching that window. That's where the play's developing, but there's 2 players about to hit the back. Frosty might be able to find them. Yeah, Frosty's going to spot him. Shots are through. Can't get it done. ICR up close. Lacefield skins him alive. Now the back's open. Chino's going to have to retreat. Has to contend with this. And they've just opened up A, so now A, there's a chance to hit the play. Chino's got to hold the back down as perfectly as he can, but
that's 5 down.
The numbers have fallen. Midnight have punched through. They're going to capture A now, and here they've got presence on B at the same time.
And the TAC 5 boost. TAC 5 boost, presence on both zones. Bad news as we see the slam coming from Lacefield. Llama finds another. It's all going a little wrong here for Enigma6. Diabolic, though, finds an important double, which will keep B zone alive. A looks like it's going to be given up, but again, B is completely outside. They've still got streaks to play with. Parasite's still rocking that TAC 5 boost, of course, and with 23 to 19, we saw in round number 1 that lives don't mean everything here.
No, indeed. Nice little cheeky kills there from Chino on point. Again, just to keep the numbers, trying them to keep them in the favor of E6. Midnight with a slight advantage for the time being. TAC 5 is going to help keep him up and running. General Lightning Strike invested. Didn't find too much there of the players on point. Maybe slightly earlier would have been more advantageous, but nonetheless, here comes the assault towards B. Number 1, he's the player we need to be watching out for, hitting the back. Saints is once again trying to hit those players on spawn. If you can find something again while the gunfights are going down up front. Kismet, so strong.
Worst time ever.
Unfortunate to say the least, but that helps E6. Look, 17 to 14. They haven't lost a whole lot of lives in these moments, and Frosty again. Trying to find something in the back here. He's got number 10 backing him up. That's going to be Diabolic on the left-hand side here. Frosty saw a gun. Gets it done. Stays alive for the time being. Again, just bleeding these lives slowly but surely. Midnight are running out of time, running out of lives. And Frosty continuing to be such a pain. 6 and 8, 2 kills back to back. Can't get a third. But nonetheless, clock's ticking. Clock is ticking. E6 looking good here for another round win.
Yeah, and this is what happened last time. They ran out of time. You know, they've got to push forward. No matter if you trade every kill here and you're leading by 1 or 2, it doesn't matter. Blast does find 1. Maybe the entrance they needed, but Kismet, absolutely no chance. Grav Slam put down, and that is going to be, oh, I say that. So it's a lace field.
Oh, nah.
And now it's going to be the round.
Hold it. It ain't over till it's over. E6 once again coming up tops on the defense. Coming up tops. Kismet, we talked about his aggressive play. Sometimes great. Sometimes a bit of a disadvantage to his team. But for me, Frosty was one of the big difference makers in that round. Whereas we saw General with hero plays on the first defensive round win. We saw General finding streaks on their attacking round. For me, it was Frosty there really being the nuisance. Just his very presence. Doesn't have to get kills. He just stops those players making their way so ambitiously, so aggressively there through the lobby. Just the fact that they know he's there in your window makes you rethink that attack. Maybe makes you even not hit that at all. You know, you go through food, and there's probably a player in food there as well. So either way, here we go. Round number 4. General's going to open it up with his Tempest. Finds the first.
Find a second lace field and Llama find 2. Frosty in General still going strong here. With the Tempest, he's in and around A zone. He has a teammate to work with as well, and with this Tempest, you can really work some magic. First tick has come in. Just waiting for the cross, does see him, but that's going to be okay. He's still got the Hellstorm to play with. That could be great on the offense. See obviously how things pan now. Saints has invested the War Machine as well.
Still second to get A finish. This has been great from E6. Kismet's got lightning strikes, 6 kills in a row for him. The defense has been a little lackluster for Midnight.
Chino does find 1 straight off spawn, which is unfortunate for Lace, but Parasite does answer back. Now, interesting, you look at the mini-map there, all these purple arrows kind of surrounding B-zone but pushing out, and that's the wise thing to do. However, dropping like flies, not what you want to see here. 20 to 25. Now we're going to see potential streaks coming in. That's going to be the lightning from Kismet. Finds Saints. And this could be the start of the collapse here. This is where Enigma6 can close things out. They're looking for the first tick.
Elson for General. Clears the field, catches anyone on spawn. Would have been ideal. But nonetheless, Frosty and Chino getting kills. Kismet still in the back line, dealing the damage, holding those players back off spawn. Saints finally gets the kill, but look at the lives. 23 to 16. Chino's War Machine. Kismet's Hellstorm as well. They're going in. Trying to close this one out. He gets tags all over the place, but can't get the kills. Blast, that's got your name on it, mate. As Frosty holds the line, streaks for him to work with now, and the Vision Pulse if they need it, but nonetheless, E6 are back in this with a fighting chance as they capture B, making a 3-1 in the control, and a 2-1 in the series.
Incredible stuff, and I will say, it could be a very different scoreline if S&D went the way of E6. They'd be leading at this point. However, Midnight struggle in the control. And again, I think it was, you know, losing out on that second round, very difficult. You get the coaches on stage having a quick word before they go into this hard point. And we will see E6 remain. No 3-0 today. Midnight, of course, looking pretty strong so far in the series as a whole, but I feel like that control, they were the weaker squad. Enigma6 just looked a little bit better. They looked a little bit more on top of it and a little bit more controlled and disciplined.
There was a few moments there where I actually thought E6's coach was about to high-five the cameraman. I really thought that was going to happen for a moment there. I will say, though, is yeah, bro, well done, dude. Whoa, high five. I will say, though, E6, they didn't necessarily make the most sort of... It didn't look like they were making the most ambitious plays. And we see it in this final round here. And Midnight were great at capturing A very, very early on. But then when it came to retaking B, when it came to like making the damage still there, they were great at like working their way around the back, making these sort of like interesting set plays where they would bait out players and, you know, use their specialists to the best ability they could. But at the end of the day, they just could not get on to B. Like E6 are just stacking up there, and the trades were so effective. There was literally nothing Midnight can do. Whereas on the other side of the board, E6, they were so good at doing that. They were so good at making the plays. We saw brilliant stuff out of them on the defensive work as well. So E6, again, have to hand it to them. And you're right. Search and Destroy goes one round different. General doesn't pull a Tempest, maybe? I don't know. I don't want to keep blaming him. But, like, there's so many little things there that could have changed there. E6 could be 2-1 up in this series.
Very difficult. However, we'll say credit to them from Control. 8-0 since the start of Fort Worth. Sorry, 8-1. 8-0, that'd be a dream. But again, these guys proving once again strong in the game mode. You know, coming into this, obviously, the map was a little skewed, but we're going into Hardpoint. Reverse sweep is on. Can they push it to a game 5? Search and Destroy, of course, we saw how good they can be when we saw them 3 rounds back-to-back. They fell in the 11th, but E6 definitely not out of this series just yet.
Not over until it's over. Good vibes, I'd imagine, across the board for E6 now again. That was a pretty convincing win. The Hardpoint is now long in the past, way in the back of their mind, but while it may be in the back of their mind, that first performance, they do have to play another one now. And if you're a betting man, or lady, or anything in between, Midnight, this next one for them, strong favorites. The first Hardpoint was 250 to 99, but it's the way the kills were going, the way the plays were going, it's a miracle E6 got 99 points in the Hardpoint, to be completely honest with you. Either way, to the next Hardpoint we go. Boy howdy. Frequency though, very different. Be curious to see how this one goes, because Arsenal Midnight.
Yeah, I kind of feel that this may favour Midnight even more. Just in regards to kind of that really fast SMG, you look at E6 and you've got Kismet by all means, who I feel can go toe-to-toe, but the likes of Lacefield, Saints, I think it just might be a bit too much firepower. Again, which way am I leaning? Midnight, by all means E6, they can of course hold control and dictate the way a map breaks down. But I'm looking at Midnight to kind of close this one out in 4.
Nothing wrong with that, cool. Kismet though, fast and furious, but Saints is such a sneaky player right now, man. Either way, straight in on the point. There's the contest. Blow for blow. Looks like it's going the way of E6. They get a clean 3. General's going to find a little bit of help there from Frosty as he holds down the side with the Maddox. Number 1 making the rotate around through mid, making sure to cut off those players as they attack their way through the middle of the ground now. Kismet's going to try and do what he can to get shots in on the side. You see that, and the contest is already through. So Midnight not willing to concede as any of the time here, but done an amazing job from E6 to get that first 20 seconds and climbing, and going to be fighting for the rotate. It's a bit of a split, as you can see. So make their way towards that point. Number 10, number 6 are about to collapse there on top of the hard point. Diabolic. Oh, wow. Perfect timing there. Frosty coming in at the last second just to help him out, and still keeping Midnight off the point.
Oh, that's not a great start for Midnight by all means, and if you've learned anything from my predictions, it's not to listen to them in the slightest here. We talked obviously about map 1 and how dominant of a start Midnight had. Enigma6 though, coming out hot here, 130 away from Lightning Strike. Frosty looking to have this perfect start, 4-0. Trophy system is down. The protection, the bodyguard, and everything in between. Chino is going to find a double as well, and Frosty, this is easy. They're not even shooting back at this stage.
Oh, what the hell is going on, man?
Full streaks.
What the hell is going on? Well, 6-0. Kismet hasn't got a kill yet. No worries, no drama. But again, Llama God said before the series started that they have issues breaking hard points. Oh boy, if they don't get that hard point on the opening set of kills, I don't think they get a hard point. It's early to call, Phil. But if the rotations are on for E6, if the kills are still good, we could be seeing a remarkable scoreline.
Yep, and when, with 82 points for Enigma6 before Midnight even strike first, the question which you've got to do to kind of make this interesting, Miles, is how well have Midnight got to play right now to get back in this game? They're down by 80. There's no specialist even close. There's no streaks available. These guys have really got to not only step it up, they've got to, I don't know, find something else, find some different form of energy. Think about map number 1. Lacefield does find a double and Parasite finds 1. Of course, we do see kind of this every now and again when you obviously get the first and second hard point on frequency. When you rotate round, you can obviously capitalize on that. So that 80 points now stripped down to 50, but E6 heavily favored right now.
Yeah, nonetheless, 30 seconds on this hard point here in the corridor. Blue, Saints holding the line, can't get it done against Kismet. Again, the contest coming through. E6 have yet to get anything here on this hard point. There it is, the final points. 20 seconds left on the clock. Those two players are going to stand up and sit down on top of Kismet there. Parasite finding 2, can't get the third there as Frosty comes in for the final 10 seconds. Again, just trying to slow those players down, trying to just get kills. Again, the rotation's already underway. Kismet's though leading the charge here. Number 8 is going to be the only player there for Midnight. Frosty's going to be just using the ping there to provide as much information as they possibly can. Diabolic trying to hold the point. No one contesting the top, so with that, it's an open field now. Here comes that lightning strike for Frosty, straight on top of the point, trying to flush them out. No need for the ping, he knows they're there, and oh, sadly only finds Chino. 40 seconds on the point, and oh my, Midnight are back in this.
Yeah, they certainly are. Tech 5 boost and running. The boys in purple Right now, down by 30. You heard it, 80, now 50. Sorry, 80, then 50, now 30. Hellstorm is trying to stop anyone from rotating around, and no one will push this last 20 seconds. It looks like going down low. We are going to see more Midnight players flooding through with the TAC 5 boost. Absolutely nada. We're not going to see anything here. Still 30 points in the lead, still contesting the hard point. And my goodness, I have a funny feeling this one's going down to the very, very last second here. Those close hard points between these two teams have been around, but map number 1 was an absolute landslide in favor of Midnight. We are going to get to the point where we're going to see Specialists, Lacefield and Llama very close, as well as Saints. All of Enigma6 are working towards theirs as well.
Yeah, same can be said for E6. Almost there. Llama God's on point, trying to contest out. I mean, these... You've been there, friends. You've been there in league play. You know how hard it is to win these kind of battles towards you, towards that first hard point. It looks like Midnight are getting it done. Slams are up. Only finds the one before he's dropped immediately, just outside of that splash damage range. Kismet in from behind now. Slam's gone away. Kismet comes to play. Can he find a third? Nah, but his teammates are there. Chino's going to be on it. Saints still contesting, still holding the line. Big shots. Clock's ticking, can't get it done. Simply overwhelmed. Blast is going to be there again, back and forth. Just the very fact, the 5v5, there are so many players in the game, so fast to move back on the point. Do we finally have E6 in control? But Midnight have made them fight for every second at 96 now.
And Midnight have changed the spawns too. They're the ones really, I feel, have come out on top here because they've changed the spawns. They can now pretty much do what E6 did to them. A team kill coming down doesn't favor E6 anymore, and I feel like a lead change is just around the corner. Tempest at the ready. Many more Specialists as well to go down, but my goodness, look at that. Look at that, the War Machine is out. Saints is looking for players. Have they got the flight jacket on? Answer for Chino, absolutely not. However, we are going to see Diabolic take one to the chest.
There we go. Lead changes. How long for Midnight to hold on now? It's going to be a strong flood right through the front. They're all going to have to make their way through the front. Number 1's the only one hitting the back end at this point. One Frosty goes through the window. The timing has to be absolutely on point. Llamagod's going to clean up the back. Lacefield cleans up the front. And with that, Midnight hold the line. And entry kills that go their way off the back of powerful Specialist usage, and then they take care of those players on respawn. This is what you wanted for Midnight. This is exactly what you wanted to see. An adaptation, the evolution of their gameplay. And here we go. Holding the line, get the rotations, all good to go.
So we kind of talked about it at the start, and the reason I raised it is because you can always come back into a game by all means, but Enigma6 led, what, 82 to 2? 82 to 0, in fact, I think it was. Since that point, obviously, you do the maths here. Midnight have been on a bit of a rampage, and it shows the kind of character that is on their team, the kind of never give up attitude. And that's what I like about Midnight. They're very hungry for it. A lot of players have been out in the Pro League and now back in, getting their chance. But E6, you've got to question them as a squad as well. Why are they throwing these leads away? Is it just as simple as saying, you know, sometimes on a map like this, yes, you can lose spawns, but, you know, are they playing it poorly? I'm interested to see what the analysts have to say about this after it, but it's certainly not over yet. Enigma6 can certainly turn this around. A very close game in that. 15 points holding them between them. We're seeing a temp is in the hands of General. Connects with one. Can he find the kill? Yes, he can.
Overextends, does get dropped. 15 seconds remain now on this hard point. And the biggest difference for me, and what we saw with this one, and the difference between this and Arsenal, was the kills are so even. When it comes to Midnight, they're not even outslaying them that much, you know. And then with the lead at this point, they're just playing the hard points better. They're getting the rotations, they're holding on to the time better, they're contesting more. E6 do have the kills, you know. We've got more kills across the board. Chino's going 22 and 16, 18 and 13 for Frosty. They're much stronger in this lane department, but their block is not on their side. The literal time in game has not been as well spent as it has for Midnight.
40 seconds left down low. Midnight in control here, looking to close things out. Look across the board how close it is. 17, 18, 17, 20, 19 in the kill department. That goes pretty much across the board there for Midnight. And again, it just shows everyone kind of putting in a shift, everyone kind of turning up at the right time. Interested to see when Lacefield's grab slam comes out. It's probably going to be on you. I am wrong. It's going to come out right here, right now, and pretty much come to nothing there, but with 15 seconds left. Enigma6 are going to take control, and they have a slam. They have a purifier as well. Frosty, of course, rocking that.
Saints getting ready for next. Here we go. Kismet in general hitting the right-hand side. There's no one on the left. The Diabolic's about to hit the flank. If he times this right, it could be great. Slams up. Kismet finds nothing. Blast finding 2 kills out of that one. Saints is going to kill him, and the play from E6 did not quite work out. Can they find the kills now on point?
Really unfortunate not to find anything with the slam. There's 3 people in the hard point. Very, very unfortunate. I actually think it's a good use of it, but doesn't find anything. Last Lacefield finding kills as well. This is what I mean about the pace. I said this at the start of the game, is the swords of some of the players are just very, very aggressive. And the likes of Kismet goes toe-to-toe, but Enigma6, they're falling behind here, 25 points. How do they break it? How do they turn this around? They were up 80-0, and since that moment, it's been 210 to 85, almost a replication of map number 1.
Again, Midnight have just turned this around so well.
So well.
So well. With an 83, something point lead to nothing. Now Llama God's almost got himself streaks. Frosty with a powerful, powerful opener, but they've been relatively quiet since then. We aren't going to see streaks there, as Kismet does take care of Llama God. 222, though. That's a purple hard point. Blast is in. Blast continues this incredible run. He's had 26 and 19 for him. 2 kills back to back now. Frosty gets the opening kills. Lacefield and Parasite finding the defense. They're holding that lobby. They're holding the line. It's just back and forth as they come, and we do finally have something there from E6 to get on the point, but Midnight once again with the spawns out back. They can reinforce that hard point so quickly. And this could well be it, friends. A final 5 points. Frosty has to get on there as quick as he can. The contest comes through. Kismet's in there, but is it all for naught as Parasite dives on the point? And Midnight, they're the real deal. They're here to play. Here in the league, 3-1 over E6.
Great performance there all round. A slow start to map number 4, but Lacefield and the boys come out on top, and blasts across for the fist bumps here, as does the team follow. But overall, map 1, very dominant from Midnight. Map 2, again, the start of it was pretty much dominant from Midnight. E6 showed their 3 rounds back-to-back they could get back in it. They won the control. They've been 8-1, that being Enigma6 since the start of Fort Worth. Obviously a very strong game mode, but a hard point, they lose out again.
They lose out in the hard point. Midnight get it done, 3-1. They've come to play in the league, and now they're getting the results they wanted against strong teams. Good practice proves that anything can change. Ladies and gentlemen, more caught after the break here at the CWL.
The Call of Duty World League is brought to you by Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel, the official beverage of the CWL. Scuff Gaming, the official controller of the CWL. And TCL, America's fastest growing TV brand.
Midnight get their second win, of course, taking down Enigma6 there at 3-1 to kick off the day. And I want to talk, Ant, about map number 4, because E6 was up 80-0 at the start. Why do they keep just letting these maps go?
It's just their hard point, right? Like, it's some of the players in that team, Diabolic, the rest of those guys, like, it's just they're slow to get into this series, like, especially in the hard points. Like, he had like a 0.7 throughout the series. And I'm not just, you know, calling him out himself, just because I think their pacing's off in general as a team. And you see it in these hard points, like picking up Chino. He is a slow player. General can be slow as well. And I think it's just completely thrown off their game. Like, before, I thought they were a pretty solid hard point team, the last iteration of this roster. And, you know, since then, it just has not been good. The only game mode they can win, it seems, is Control. And, you know, it's just been tough for them lately.
No, that is certainly true. And Pac, what were you thinking about the S&D that we saw between these two teams?
I mean, it looked to me like Midnight had it under control for most of it, and then there was a round where Chino got a 3-piece with a War Machine, and looked like E6 found a way to bring it back, and then unfortunately they just couldn't close out that search. And since they're a team that's struggling so much in Hardpoint, they really needed to close that out, because they would have went up 2-1 of the series and took it to that Game 5, because obviously their Hardpoint's lacking, so even with a huge buffer, they couldn't win the 4th map.
And here is that Chino play.
Here's a Chino play. This is huge, right? This is that momentum swing that you need as a team. That's great specialist usage. You're supposed to lose at this.
I don't know how he got 3 kills with this.
I mean, if you don't have flag.
Like, that guy in the far left
flag.
was so far. It's like the body flew and smacked him in the head and killed him.
They bring it all the way back, and then Blast finds first blood last round.
He gets 3 kills this round.
Yeah. That's what we talked about before in the intro too. Like, Blast has been playing so much better. It looks like Midnight's found some confidence within themselves. It's nice to see.
So for like Midnight, I talked about in the opening segment, like, I think that the players individually kind of need to find their footing in this game. They need to identify themselves, and we're seeing these performances. You know, day one, or yesterday, it was Saints 2-1 off, and then today, Llama God had a great series, as well as Lacefield had some standout maps, and Parasite as well. Like, if these guys can individually perform at a high level that we know they're all capable of from previous titles, like, they can be a great team, but it starts in the individual level, and we're seeing it now, and, you know, their teamwork's starting to come in now that they're getting that confidence in each other. It's special to see these guys, you know, performing in the Pro League after not making it initially.
Especially after the way they performed at Fort Worth too. They only won 2 maps, so to see this turnaround so quick.
A much better showing now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we're gonna get this at London, because we know that their full roster is not gonna be there, but
I mean, that's tough. Yeah,
that's a tough situation.
They haven't,
but they have improved.
6K damage out of Blast right there. Like, just the last few days, man. Like, these are some of the best games he's had on LAN ever. And he's been a player who's been under a lot of criticism, because he was sort of in that new age group of players who was supposed to emerge into the scene and be those superstars. And, you know, he was kind of the guy that they were saying he was a dud. So he's here trying to, you know, show up and, you know,
prove his worth.
Get his spotlight. And he is. He's doing just that. And he dominated those hard points.
I mean, that's got to be tough study coming in as like pretty much a brand new roster to a big open event like Fort Worth. The pressure there must have been huge. But here, maybe it's a little more relaxed, you know.
Yeah, as you heard Blast yesterday in his interview, they just didn't practice. There were players that just were not getting on, or just wouldn't communicate if they were getting on or anything, just like that. But overall, as you could tell, the vibes of the team are definitely getting better. As you can see, yesterday we wanted to go out last night and Texas Saints, and Saints was like, all right, I'm going to watch VOD with my team. I'm like, that's what you need to do. You need to be
correct answer.
Just like that, man. And it's good to see out of them, because everyone, when they came into this with this roster, obviously it wasn't the original Midnight roster, so everyone was just basically counting them out.
So I want to say something. Last night I go onto the Call of Duty subreddit, and I am scrolling down, and I see a post, and it's by Parasite COD. And the title of the thread says "Hush Mode," and the context was ... The first comment I see is JCap. He goes, "I'm mad." I mean, it's just hilarious. He's like, "Nobody's gonna post it for me, so I post it for myself."
I mean, why would they? You just won 1 match. Parasite.
Yo, people were commenting.
Parasite's so different.
People were commenting in there like, "You went 2-16 on game 4." He's like, "I don't care. I won the series." Well, comes in today, plays great, and they win again. So, hush mode for sure.
Yeah, he can be his own hype man. He doesn't need anyone else. Let's bring up our schedule, moving things